Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. In today's recipe I'm going to show you how to make a Ragi Mudde, a very traditional dish from Karnataka. And it's essentially finger millets. Ragi is finger millets flour, which is made into a porridge, a very thick porridge, and then shaped into dumplings and served hot along with some huli soppu or Soppu Saaru. So without wasting any time, let's just dive right in and I'll show you how to make this dish. So into a large pan, I'm going to be adding 2.5 cups of water. So for every cup of ragi flour, we add 2.5 cups of water. And I'm just going to do that. So that's 2.5 cups of water, and I'm going to bring it to a brisk boil. I'm going to add a little bit of salt as well. And once it comes to a brisk boil, we add in little flour at a time to make our Ragi Mudde. So notice that the water is boiling, and this is 1 cup of ragi flour. So same measurements as the water. So first I'm going to dissolve a little bit of flour into the water, and then we'll start adding more. This is a technique that is used to prevent lump formation. So it's always a good idea to dissolve a little bit of flour and then start adding more flour at a time. Okay, so let's just do that. So now that the initial ragi flour is combined, I'm just going to go ahead and add little flour at a time. And notice how quickly the water is getting absorbed into the ragi, and keep stirring it until it combines very well. And after that, I'm just going to go ahead and cover the pan and allow it to rest for about 3 to 4 minutes. And this will help the ragi get cooked a little bit, and especially when you're making larger quantities of ragi mudde, this will really help covering the pan. We'll just let it rest for about 3 to 4 minutes. After that, add in a little bit of ghee and then stir it well until it comes away from the sides of the pan. Let's just wait for that. So it's been about 3 to 4 minutes, and the ragi will look a little bit more steamed and darker and deeper in color. Notice that. So at this stage, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of ghee, and then keep stirring it until it gets a nice shine, and it'll almost come away from the sides of the pan, and we'll keep stirring it and cook it for another 3 to 4 minutes, and our ragi mudde will be done. Just give it a taste, check if it's cooked. If it's still raw, then you need to keep stirring it. That's perfect. Notice that because we allowed it to steam, and after we added the ghee, it's coming away from the sides of the pan. This essentially means it's getting cooked as well, and just keep stirring it until it's completely done. So this looks done, and now our next step is to shape it quickly when it is warm. And for that, what we have to do is, we're not going to be shaping it by hand. We're going to be using a high-walled vessel like this, and then we're going to grease it a little bit with oil, and we'll add a large tablespoon or a large two tablespoons maybe of the ragi mudde batter, and we will swirl it around, and then we will shape it. So I'm going to add in some ghee into my pan and grease it, and we're going to add just a large bowl. I mean, it depends upon how big you want your ragi balls to be, and that's the shape, and each home makes it differently. So now I'm just going to twirl it around like that and then shape it into the ragi mudde. So notice it's getting shaped into a ball, and this is just perfect, and this is exactly how it's done. Wonderful. Doesn't that look beautiful? I just love ragi mudde, and it's served along with some huli Soppu Saaru, and it tastes absolutely wonderful. Ensure that you do it when it's hot, because only then it'll get shaped quickly. Great, so I'm just going to go ahead and place it in a bowl, and then shape the remaining ragi muddes, and we'll be ready to serve them. So about 1 cup of this ragi would give you about 4 muddes approximately, and that's just perfect because each mudde is like really heavy. And if you want to make a little more, and you can add 2 cups of flour, but ensure that that covering process is done so that it becomes much easier in the cooking process, and also after that, when you give it a stir, it'll be completely cooked. Great. So this is great. So I hope you enjoyed watching this recipe of how to make the Ragi Mudde. Wholesome and absolutely nutritious. And you should have it as a family for either breakfast, you can have it for lunch, or even for dinner. And it goes well along with the huli Soppu Saaru, which is a sambar, or even a spicy rasam. So do give this a try, and when you do, don't forget to take a snapshot of it, share your feedback in the comments below, tag us across all our social channels, and I would love to hear from you. So until then, until next time, happy cooking and healthy eating.